Coming up on LUTV News, how to stay safe for Halloween during the COVID-19 pandemic. Plus, students needing extra cash are now flexing their entrepreneurial muscles to make it happen. And what started as a video game club has now turned into a Lions esports team. Those stories and more ahead on LUTV News. Welcome to this edition of LUTV News. I'm Haley Reeves. We are just over a month away until voters will head to the polls to elect a new president. Reporter Daniel Bell-Wynn explores how one initiative on campus is working to boost voter turnout amongst students.
Today is September 22nd, also known as National Voter Registration Day, and here at Evans Commons, an effort titled Gen Z Leading the Vote is hoping to get as many students registered as possible this November.
Are you registered to vote?
Generation Z Leading the Vote is a student and faculty-based initiative designed to inform and involve people in the political process, specifically Lindenwood students.
Our main goal in Gen Z Leading the Vote is to increase voter registration, which will therefore hopefully increase voter participation within the student body as well as the surrounding area.
Here at Evans Commons, students involved with Gen Z Leading the Vote were encouraging students to register to vote with their simple QR code that can register students to vote from their smartphones in just a few minutes. Although the choice for president is the most well-known decision voters will have to make on Election Day in November, Eleanor Cass wants potential voters to know that local candidates and issues are just as important.
I would 100% say that local issues and candidates are just as important, if not more important, than the presidential election. Your local officials will more directly impact your life in a lot more ways than people realize, going from schools to taxes and a lot of other things that are a lot more directly felt by the everyday citizen.
There is an amendment to the Constitution on the ballot here in Missouri. It's called Amendment 3. And it will change the way districts are organized. So it'll influence who you get to vote for. And if you don't vote, there's very little incentive for the people making the decisions to pay attention to you.
Voting is your most basic right in a democracy, and it is super important for everyone to express that right and to be able to have a say in the political system.
Daniel Bell-Wynn reporting for LUTV News.
For more information on Gen Z Leading the Vote, follow them on Instagram and Twitter. Halloween will look a little different this year because of COVID-19. Reporter Claire Beaudry has the story on what people will be doing to make Halloween safer.
Is Halloween canceled? Due to the coronavirus, parents have been thinking about canceling the celebration of Halloween to keep their children safe. Let's see what the public thinks about this.
Been slower for the most part. Since it is getting closer to Halloween, we have been getting more people coming in, but as for people coming in earlier, we haven't had as much business yet this year.
Stores have put up plexiglass for safety and clean every few minutes. Also, people have been buying more decorations for a safe Halloween.
There have been less costumes being bought because you can't try them on in store because we don't have an accessible fitting room this year. So people have either been buying them and then returning them because it doesn't fit, or they just won't buy it at all.
Usually for Halloween, kids go out door to door to collect candy from different houses. This year, it will be different because of COVID-19. This year, people have been buying less costumes and more masks since children and adults cannot try on anything due to the fitting rooms being closed at most Halloween stores. Masks have also been becoming more popular this year since the coronavirus. People have also been buying more Halloween decorations to make Halloween as safe as possible.
I'm assuming my mom's going to wear a mask the entire time. And, it's kind of funny because Halloween's the perfect time for wearing masks, purely because kids wear masks anyways on Halloween. So it's one of those things where I guess it's just kind of there. But maybe even just set a bowl of candy outside.
Reporting from LUTV News, I'm Claire Beaudry.
For more information on a safe Halloween for your area, check with your local homeowners association. Straight ahead on LUTV News, Lindenwood students are excited about a new method of transportation that's been seen around St. Charles, but the university is not.
Most at risk for coronavirus. People over 65, people with underlying medical conditions like heart disease, chronic lung disease, asthma, diabetes, people undergoing cancer treatment, and people with weakened immune systems. What should you do if you or a loved one is at higher risk? Avoid close contact with people, avoid crowds, stay home if you can, wash your hands frequently, learn more ways to protect yourself and others at coronavirus.gov.
My mother was always very familiar with her neighborhood, but one day she stopped at the stop sign for much longer than usual, and she didn't know whether she should go forward or turn, and she wasn't even really sure where she was at. It was very unsettling for her.
I felt so much better after my son told me, "Mom, I don't want you to worry or be afraid. I'll be there for you and we'll figure it out."
The newest form of transportation, the bird scooter, has been banned from being on Lindenwood's campus. Reporter Billy Woods tells us why the university made that decision.
Bird scooters have been a popular option for students here at Lindenwood University. Unfortunately, because of strict guidelines here at the campus, security has expressed many concerns about the use of them on campus, and therefore they are prohibited. Bird scooters, the convenient and easily accessible toy around St. Charles, isn't allowed on campus. The scooters are controlled through a downloadable app on your phone where you pay with your debit or credit card. The map within the app even shows restricted areas and where other scooters are parked nearby.
The bird scooters would be very essential for the kids that are not from here. They're living off campus right now, trying to be as safe as they can. They don't have cars here, so the scooters, if they were able to be on campus, would help them out tremendously with day-to-day. Instead of walking 20 minutes to get to class, it's now a 5-minute commute. I think they'd be pretty good for them.
Even though students have expressed frustration about being unable to ride the scooters on campus, security has since doubled down on the decision to not have them on campus. In a recent interview with LindenLink, Ryan Anderson, the Director of Public Safety and Security, said, "A primary concern is the general liability. The university does not have insurance coverage related to bird scooters." For LUTV News, I'm Billy Woods.
For use of bird scooters off campus, download the Bird Scooter app on your mobile device. More and more students everywhere have been starting their own small businesses. I took a look at 2 Lindenwood students who have their own small businesses, all operated out of their residential housing. Many students have to be creative in the way they make money aside from a regular job, and being creative is exactly how they do it. Many students have been selling their designs for stickers, art, or even masks, and they're doing it right here from the comfort of their own college residence.
I actually started making the face mask with my mom in March, back when COVID really got going. My aunt works for a nursing home system, and she was like, "I need masks for my patients and for my coworkers." So we made over 250 masks and donated them to her facility. And then after that, I was like, oh, this is actually kind of fun.
Since coming back to Lindenwood from Kansas City, Cameron has set up her mask making station at her kitchen table in her Lindenwood residence hall.
On top of that, I started making little paintings around a lot of our protests that have been going on. So, in support of Black Lives Matter and equal rights for the LGBTQIA communities.
Another student, Lauren, makes designs specifically for Redbubble, and Redbubble takes those designs and puts them on stickers, t-shirts, posters, and even masks.
Pick a character, or I pick a symbol or something that I enjoy, and I take it and I put it into Illustrator with Adobe, and then I create a design. I knew that I really liked just making things digitally, like digital art, and I didn't have a job. So I was like, okay, I'm just gonna take what I know that I really like to do and find a way to do it.
I'm Haley Reeves for LUTV News. To see more of their creations, check out Cameron's Instagram at cameron.low.creations. And to see more of Lauren's, check out her Redbubble at redbubble.com/people/Lauren Paulin. Straight ahead on LUTV News, esports has now made its appearance on campus. But what does the future hold for the new athletic team?
This is Jaina. Into the future. Do you remember back when I was in 7th grade? Anything that I would do, she would make fun of me, she would laugh at me, she would talk to her friends and whisper. I grew up to be more independent and love myself and just be a little bit more confident.
Aww. I'm like a little tearing up right now.
Asking Americans to do a lot right now. So we're asking everyone to be selfless for others so that we can protect those who are most susceptible to this virus.
A question I often get asked is, why should young people care about the spread of coronavirus? Well, we know that people with underlying medical conditions over the age of 60 are at highest risk, but they've got to get it from somebody.
Social distancing is really physical separation of people.
It's what we refer to when we ask people to stay at least 6 feet apart.
Not going to bars, not going to restaurants, not going to theaters where there are a lot of people. It all just means physical separation so that you have a space between you and others who might actually be infected or infect you.
We all have a role to play in preventing person-to-person spread of this disease, which can be deadly for vulnerable groups. For more information on how you can social distance, please go to coronavirus.gov.
1 in 3 adults has pre-diabetes. That means it could be you, your favorite brother, your other brother, you, your football buddy, your football buddy, you, your plumber,
breathe right into your foot,
your plumber's masseuse,
yes,
you, your dog walker, your cat jogger. With early diagnosis, prediabetes can be reversed. Take the risk test at doihaveprediabetes.org.
Welcome back. Esports has seen a recent rise to fame, including here at Lindenwood. Reporter Will Crawford goes in depth about the Lions' new esports team.
That is the sound of the competitive nature of video games. Lindenwood announced recently that they have their own esports team on campus, but the team is no new feature.
We should start a gaming club, and then it branched out to, wow, this is awesome, we want to do esports. And from there we researched all the teams that we needed to, and we got people on campus together and we just started playing.
From there forward, the team would take off and become something even bigger to the Lindenwood community.
The biggest move for us is when AMC picked us up. That was super exciting. And then right after that, sports was like, we really want to see this happen. And it was super exciting. And I honestly couldn't believe that it happened so fast.
Lindenwood has mini sports on campus now with a new edition of esports, which is looking to get in action very soon.
tournament, you get matched up with people. If you win, you get matched up with people who've won that amount, and lose, you get lost amount. Last semester, we went 3-3 for our first semester, and I think that's pretty good for a first semester of a random group of people who just threw together.
Despite COVID bearing down and making restrictions, there's still a ton of excitement in the air for the team.
Over this past time that I've had some of these players, I've watched them grow as teammates, and not only that, as people. And it's super exciting to see people grow on a game as well as being in a team.
Reporting for LUTV News, I'm Will Crawford.
The esports team is looking to start their season in the spring. For more information on them, visit lindenwoodlions.com. And that's it for this edition of LUTV News. I'm Haley Reeves. Thanks for joining us.